when you're obsessed. Sorry, I thought I was thinking about possession, but it's not possession, where you're possessed by ghosts. But in your life, or in any of your friends' life, when you are into, I'm in personal development and self-help stuff, though all my friends would understand it because they're not into growing the better version of themselves. They're just too stuck on themselves. And it kind of pisses me off sometimes when you go give a person advice, a really good advice, they don't take it. That make me pissed. Why? Because they think that things can't change, or bad things will over happen. They're obsessing with the wrong thing, man. They're obsessing with the wrong thing instead of obsessing, uh, become obsessed of becoming great. There's a great book talk about obsession. Obsession can be good or bad. Bad meaning you're obsessed with drugs, alcohol, or stuff that really could kill you. Um, but people aren't obsessed with being great. People aren't obsessed with making their dreams or goal come true. That's why they spend too much time, I think, on Facebook. I have a problem with this, with Facebook, where people spend too much time on Facebook and not doing anything about it. They think they are doing a thing about it by being obsessed and complaining. People are obsessed with their excuses. People are obsessed with complaining. But all these complaining and excuses won't help you to take where you want to go. It's just there. It's just noise. It's a bunch of noise that you put out. And you moan and groan, and you're just like, I don't want to work out because I got bad luck. Like, seriously? And then obsession can be good. Obsession is where you go all in on your dream. You go all in because you that's it's what you want in life. Whether your obsession is family, good or bad, obsession is your dreams, goals, ambition. These are putting all the energy because it takes a lot of energy to be able to put forth, to be able to put your whole mind, body, and spirit into what you're doing. Now, being obsessed, whether my the whole thing is, I used to be obsessed with a lot of things, like um, reading manga or Japanese comic, and drawing. I used to draw a lot. I was obsessed with it. But when I go into personal development, I was more obsessed with being great. That I can scope, or I can like uh, throw an idea out there and try to make it into reality. I'm obsessed with finding the truth of why people do the thing they do, and why why they say those things. And I'm obsessed with how how I'm obsessed with people of way of understanding about life, because it's very fascinating to me that if you hear what people say out of their mouth and their behavior, it's as if they're unconscious. I mean, sure, they're aware, but mostly they're chained by the habits of their mind, and they go act on this idea. And sometimes it made me pissed when you go give an advice to your friend and they don't take it. It's like, what a load of bunch of crap, and they're too much on themselves. You should be on them yourself, but it should be an obsession to make you great, not to be. This book talk about being average or being mediocre. Being mediocre can mean just your dreams and hopes died, or being mediocre is whatever that up to you. And a lot of people are mediocre. People are meaning that a lot of people are mediocre, meaning that they stop living, they stop chasing their dreams, they stop um, using their imagination, they stop, you know. I'm telling you, I seen it. I seen the whole like my generation, my friends, my peers, they stop using their imagination, and they let the word push them into being obsessed with the wrong thing. Whether sooner or later, age will catch up with them. Maybe when they hit 30, 40, they're obsessed with. I mean, it's cool, if they have kids or something, they're obsessed with having a family. That's cool. That's good. That's probably your dream if you're obsessed with having a family. But if they want more out of life and they obsess with watching too much TV or stuff like that, and they're not really invested in their dream, what's the point? You're just existing to exist. You're existing. You know what's funny? People are existing for other people's dreams. I just realized that people are existing for other people's dreams instead of living for their dreams, right? And I was thinking about how I see when an expert are obsessed, they are really obsessed. Like I was interviewing a kung fu master, and he was obsessed with his craft, and he becomes the kung fu master. And I realized that's what made him great. What made him stand out was he's obsessed. He practiced for training the Wing Chun art for around 42 plus years. And that's what you have to do with your life. You have to become obsessed with the good thing in life, not obsessed with the bad things. Too many people are obsessed with the wrong thing in life. You have to be obsessed with something to make you light up inside and say, I want that for my life. I want that for my future children. I want that for whomever come into my life. I want that. And so many of us are just mediocre sometimes. That we are not obsessed with our dream. No, I'm obsessed with learning because I'm gonna take out the content I'm reading, but I'm obsessed with absorbing all the information because I know that the knowledge that I have will be obsoleted. But I'm obsessed because I need to find out like why do when you're a kid, you're obsessed with something. You're obsessed with a toy. You're obsessed with greatness. You didn't have all the limitation yet. You weren't bound by you weren't a prisoner of your own mind. You let loose your imagination, whether you wanted to be a princess, whether you want to be a hero, or you wanted to be something. But and then you start to imagine and you start to act out in your reality. But as you grow older, you start to hear adults say this. It's not going to happen. It's not real. It's not reality. Reality, quote unquote, reality meaning that reality is, I think, in a term of, let's say if I was speaking to a person, reality is they're letting their physical senses stop the limitation. The reality is letting their stopping their imagination from exploring everything. And I believe that if truly to understand your obsession, you have to be able to understand what makes you happy and go all in and be obsessed on trying to figure out what can you do to become great. Greatness can be anything. It's just that it's what you know to be great, not what society, teachers, or deem to be great. Now, greatness for me is finding out what I can do, finding out what I will fail in, finding out my mistakes, finding out my what can I do and what can I not do. But I want to push my limitation of my brain, the way how I perceive things to be. And I realize obsession, like for instance, when people get into the personal development law of attraction, they start trying to manifest. But what happens is they become obsessed with the object, right? Instead of trying to become the better person or become the best version of themselves, they go try to attract the object. That's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you're. I think we're focusing too much on the object. We're making the object as if like it's a god, but it's not a god or something like that. We should be obsessed with ourselves, becoming better. We can like we take an image or we paint a picture of what we want to be in life or who we want to be in life or, and then we paint that and we picture that and we become it and then we act it out on our reality. Obsession to becoming great, obsession to becoming successful will pull you into the direction of something that you never had before. Now, Grant Cardone is a very amazing guy. He had books on sold or be sold. I take away from his stuff is about selling. Selling is good. His books on selling. I think we all need to understand how to sell our stuff sometimes. You gotta be obsessed, but too many people are obsessed with the wrong thing. They're obsessed with Facebook, trying to post cool, try to post like, oh yeah, they're posting, they're doing this, but I've realized, if you're just gonna post like that, might as well make a video or doing something, create and put it on YouTube and put it out into the world and shine rather than be on Facebook all the time because people are obsessed on Facebook and people feel like I think that people spend too much time on Facebook instead of spending so much time on the dream. They're not invested in the dream. Because okay, so there's a point where people don't want much. Because I talk to my friends. They don't. One of my friends, my old friend. I don't know. I'm not connected with him anymore. But he's obsessed. Well, when I talk to him, he complains too much. He obsessed with the wrong thing too much, and that's what. And he invests in the wrong thing too much. So that's why his life is not good. And most people complain. So I don't think you should complain or excuses. Excuses is where you're lying to yourself. Well, excuses is you're just excusing, meaning you're trying to excuse you from the equation from trying. Too many of my friends, too many of my peers do not try. They let the external circumstances to get in the way, and they say it won't happen and why it won't happen. And that shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be obsessed with making your vision come true, whatever that may be. I don't know what it is. It's just that you gotta be obsessed with something good, not bad. Like there's obsession with the bad where it pull you down. It could it could be the whether that day will be worse for you. But if you're obsessed with the right thing, you move up in life and you go far in life. I mean, far whatever that means to you. I don't mean far as in what people think you should do. Those people have no idea. People, I believe that people are obsessed with projecting their reality to other people and think that's how they should live their life. But it's not what makes them happy. And I believe that whatever makes you happy, you have to go all in. Because the end of the day, the end of your days, if you're obsessed with the wrong thing, it will hold you down forever. And I don't know, maybe you come back alive and do reincarnation. I don't know. But I could say this. If we ever want something in our life, we would if we're like it's obsession is more like the same as burning desire of Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill said you gotta have major definite purpose. I mean, you have to have a purpose, and you have to know where the star that you're shooting and just try to reach for it. But you have to go all in and be obsessed, trying to figure out how. You don't have to know how, but you have to figure out where you're going and you're trying to aim. Right? But too many people don't aim, or people aim for the wrong thing, and they always go back to where they were, and they're not happy. But don't let that be you. Don't be the person to be brave enough to be obsessed with the right thing. And people might criticize you. Yeah, I know. I get criticized all the time. You know, for believing what I believe in, for changing who I am, for for education myself, because I was obsessed with the wrong thing when I was younger. I was obsessed. No, it wasn't really the wrong thing. No, I was obsessed with martial arts. I was obsessed with anime. I was obsessed with shows, movies, but they weren't really martial arts. Good. Anime. I was obsessed with drawing too, but movies. It wasn't. I can be obsessed with movie and buy all the movies that I can, but it won't take me anywhere that it can become my greatness. I'm watching too much hours, and I'm watching the movie stars living their life while I could have been living mine. I'm wasting my life, my money on watching movie stars. Nothing wrong with movie stars. It's just that now that I have changed my mindset. I have changed. I'm obsessed with myself, not in like narcissist way, but not in a egotistical way, but in becoming great. Because people are obsessed with a lot of things. I used to just sit there like a zombie and watch movie stars or people become actors and they become great at what they do, and we spend like I spend like hours, 2 hours watching them, and I forgot to live my life, or I forget to live my dream. Nor, well, actually, I never had a dream till I get into personal development, self-help. You know, because life, people don't believe in goals. People don't believe in dreams. And they think dreams can't become reality, which I think is false because we live in a world that we're connected with everyone by social medias. So be obsessed with your dream. Be obsessed with becoming great, because that's the only way to win in life. Whatever the win you want for yourself. Well, anyway, being obsessed can become. Well, I mean, being obsessed with it can be anything. So anyway, subscribe to my channel and like my video. And if you like this talk, you should. I highly recommend you get this book. It's a very great book for being obsessed without being average. Well, if you want to be average, that's okay. That's up to you. Average meaning that, okay, here's people, average and mediocre meaning you have stop being obsessed with dreams. You slide down to the same level as everybody else. You slide down with the same mentality as everybody else. And most people waste too much time just being like everybody else. They try to fit in because they feel alone. They feel like they have to be in a group to make them feel special, you know. And whatever that may be, that's not a way to go. But anyway, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I'll see you on the next.